God damn, that was straight up greatness. I did not expect this at all. I mean, seriously, I think everybody went into this with the same general idea. It's going to be Attack on Titan on trains. That is what I was feeling. I mean, it's the same studio. It has the same kind of feeling. It really pretty much was what I was expecting. And it has a lot of similarities. I mean, I could go on for ages talking about how much the zombies are like the Titans, and they've done different bits that look like they came straight out of Attack on Titan. Bit where the train crashed into the big walled city, took out the wall, exactly like the Colossal Titan's first arrival. Same thing again, when there was like that big collapsed bit of the wall in the train, and then suddenly the camera panned up, and you saw the zombies climbing up with their big glowy eyes, and everyone was like, oh shit. And then the music swells up. It's the exact same kind of feeling. And again, they are using the exact same kind of music as well. I mean, you've got that nice, really deep sounding music with the nice light female voice on top, making it feel all epic and heroic. So it is definitely aiming for the fans of Attack on Titan. And there is nothing wrong with that, because personally, I'm finding this a lot better than Attack on Titan so far. Honestly, straight up, the main reason I'm preferring this one to Attack on Titan is our main character. He is a badass and a smart thinker. Ikoma is so much better than goddamn Eren. I mean, Eren was just continuously, I want to kill all the Titans! Yeah! Kind of meh. It was that shonen kind of stereotype where it's a character who's just got one thing on his mind the whole time. I never sympathized with Eren at all. I felt bad for his mum. That was about it. The rest of his storyline was just, dude, at least like think about some other shit for once in your life. I mean, there was so much going on around Eren, but it was just continuously, I'm gonna kill them all. So that was boring. Ikoma, on the other hand, like, he's starting off as a steam engineer, someone who works on machinery, he's smart, and he's got interesting ideas. Whereas everybody else is so stuck in their past kind of mindset. Like, they've still got this whole classism issue thing going on. People working on the trains are just working on the trains. People above that, it feels very much like feudal era Japan. Maybe a bit beyond feudal era. I don't know what you'd call that. The Bakumatsu time period? I don't know. But it's incredible. You've got that whole thing going on where there are people that are clearly superior to everyone else. Everyone's bowing and scraping to them, and it's just so bad. Ikoma, our main character, is one of the lower class, who's just doing his best to get by, cleaning trains, fixing up machinery, doing what he can do, while the upper class just don't give a fuck about him. Meanwhile, while their whole thing is just to do whatever they're used to doing with these stupid zombie things, shooting them with their little guns, which, as we've heard in the beginning, don't quite penetrate their chests, and so are actually ineffective, Ikoma's trying to find a way to make something better. And so he creates this awesome nail gun kind of thing, which just is amazing, with high-powered bullets that go straight through these zombies' chests. And I suppose I should get used to calling the zombies Kabaneri now, because that's their name, which is weird to me. But yeah, the Kabaneri. He found a way to create a gun that can go straight through their chests, which is normally too powerful for their bullets. So he's created the ultimate weapon against these things. And the badass, man! He tested it himself. I mean, their whole village is being attacked. Village, I suppose their whole town is being attacked. Wall's been knocked down. There are Kabaneri flooding into the city. Does he run away, try to save himself, try to get himself into the Iron Fortress? Does he fuck? He slashes his hand with a knife. Probably too deeply. I thought that was kind of stupid. But I mean, he needed to attract a Kabaneri to test his theory. So he brings it towards the house. He thinks it's going to be nice and just walk in the door and he's going to be able to shoot it. No problem. It crashes through the ceiling. A fight ensues. It's brilliant. Oh man, that scene was amazing. Because I felt like the guy was working too hard. But I mean, this is his whole thing. And it's better than Eren, like I said. It's not him just screaming, I'm going to kill them all. It's him trying to prove his theorem and try to better mankind's survival chances. So it turns out his gun works, but in the process he also gets bitten by the Kabaneri on his shoulder. And the virus starts spreading inside of him. And this is another thing. Other people at this point, in this age, have apparently decided there's no way to survive it. It's a curse. It's not anything to do with medicine. and that's it. If you get bitten, you need to get shot. Meanwhile, this dude, Ikoma, the badass that he is, ties himself to one of his machines, starts like, first he tries to contain it by like bolting a bunch of leather around his shoulder and chest area. Doesn't quite work. The virus keeps spreading, which sucks for him. Because then he has to go to the extreme measure of choking himself out in this intense way that looks like it almost kills him. My God. It was so cool, so badass. Gave him this nice stripe of white hair, and it worked. Because of him suffocating his brain and keeping the virus from going up to his brain, the virus eventually gave up and just retracted. I don't know if that will leave him with some sort of super abilities, because the Kabaneri seem to have super strength and shit. Maybe he'll have a little bit of that left in his body, which would be pretty generic, but I would be okay with it. It would still be cool. Or maybe the virus is completely gone from him and it's just given up. Either way, made him look like a badass, and my God, he was willing to kill himself for all of this shit. And he survived it. Which means that he can now go ahead and say, hey guys, I got this new weapon. I can make more for you, but you know, now I get to ride on the Iron Fortress. So this is really cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff going into this. I much prefer it to Attack on Titan. The whole classism issue that we've already seen going along. That weird girl, Mumei, I don't know what her deal is at all yet. She was certainly badass when she got down well, kicked a zombie's head off. Well, she sliced its head off with the blade on the bottom of her shoe. But same difference. It was so cool. So I don't know what her deal is, if she's superhuman. There seemed to be a religious order around her. I don't know what's up with that. But it will be cool to find out. This is much more interesting than I expected. I did expect it to just be a rip-off of Attack on Titan. But clearly they're putting a lot more story into this. They've put a lot more thought into the characters than I expected. And I'm looking forward to see where this one goes. The music in this one is incredible. Again, it does feel a lot like Attack on Titan, but there's nothing wrong with that. The Attack on Titan soundtrack was one of the best there was. The animation is pretty damn good. There are some things that I don't like about it. I mean, most of the time, the main guy, Ikoma, when he was walking around, reminded me a lot of a Studio Ghibli character. He has that whole light hair thing, his eyes are about the same way, and he's just as expressive as a Studio Ghibli character, which I was amazed by, really hyped up by. The girls in this show, though, I don't know why it's done a bit differently, but every time you see a girl's face, it just looks so shiny, and the hair and the eyes, they look really overexposed. Like when you get CG sprites in a video game and they look a bit too shiny in the face and the hair, that's what the girls in this show look like to me. Both Mumei and the purple-haired girl, whose name I don't remember. I don't know if they're going to fix that later on or not, but they definitely need to. It just looks too glowy and out of place to the rest of the darkness to me. But still, great first episode. The rest of the animation was great. I'm really looking forward to more of Ikoma's story. So let me know what you guys thought of this first episode in the comment section below. And if you like this review, wreck that like button like you mean it. Subscribe if you haven't already to see more. And I will see you guys next time.